I don't know. He makes you wait all this time for a video, and what do you get? You get me, an apple, in lockdown. As if that's really all you want. Hurry up, George. Make this Mayflower video. You've been sitting on your butt for far too long.
Okay. Good morning. It's very early in the morning. And here we are, putting together the Mayflower 2. The final part of this video. We're going to finish this Mayflower today, and everything so far has been done. I just wanted to show you before I start assembling the cabinet that the laminations on the plywood internally had started to fall off. So what I had to do was I had to go inside each of these slats and dribble some wood glue in there and then press it shut, obviously making sure I didn't stick the cloth down, and you know, there's a bit of wood glue that's appeared on here, but nothing I can do about that now. It's there and done, and it's all hunky-dory. So the first job I'm going to do is I'm going to put the speaker back on to the chassis like that. And we're going to need the big flat washers. And we're going to catch the big flat washers. So where are we at the moment? This, as you can see, is the Mayflower 2 cabinet. Now, inside it is the loudspeaker, inside it is the speaker baffle, the dial plate, and the brass trim, which I've straightened to as best as I can. The station markers are in, but they're not aligned to anything in particular. I will show you the insides before I put the radio back in. As you can see, it's fairly straightforward, but what you have to do is take it apart and put it together back in order. Otherwise, you're going to come a cropper. The first thing you have to take out are these two side cheeks. Then you have to take out this piece and this piece. You also have to undo these 4 brass screws for the top of the dial plate. You then have to undo and loosen these 4 little tabs, 5 tabs, I can't even count, it's that early in the morning. And those actually you can just twist, you can leave them in there, you just loosen them off and twist them over. Then you have to undo 3 screws, 1, 2, 3 in the top, which is also on the speaker baffle. And then once you can take the dial face out and these 2 side bits and these bits right out, then you can get the speaker baffle out. Now you have to pull it downwards and twist it at an angle to get it to pass the sides of the cabinet. But that's how you take it apart, and that's how you put it back together. Now the coax I did desolder. You don't actually have to do that, but because I was going to be doing so much sanding and colouring on the top of the cabinet, I thought I didn't want that bit of wire floating around. So that's what I've done. I've put everything back in there. Now I've put the cloth down because I just don't want it sliding, not because the bottom's going to get damaged in any way. After all, who wants a damaged bottom? So in my hands I have the set, and again, because this is too wide to fit straight in, you can't just slide it in straight. You have to tilt it at an angle, and it's easier, I find, to tilt it with the tuning control in first, and then you should just be able to sort of twist it on a downward slope to get the volume control past the edge of the cabinet. So let's just put that in. Once that's in, you can actually slide it all the way to the left and it will sit on the base. And then what you have to do is you have to align the screws with the bottom of the cabinet. So the easiest way to do that, it's a 3-handed job almost, but you need to get your screws. You need to get a reasonable screwdriver as well to do these screws up. And I'm going to tip it transformer end down. And I'm just going to look through the bottom of the case until I find one of the screws that will line up, and it will be about there. We just grab another one and I'll put that in the bottom corner. And there we are, it's just caught there. So once you've got the 2 screws in, you can actually let go of the transformer, which is quite a heavy beast as it is. To get the other 2 in, you may have to just give it a little push with your thumb as you tighten the base there. And let's put the last one in at the bottom. Tightening screwdriver. Now I'm not going to tighten them all the way because I still want to be able to align sort of the chassis to make sure that the dial cord doesn't rub, the needle moves smoothly along the face. So I'll just leave it in a sort of semi-loose position. Also, you want to be able to centre up the control knobs into the holes, so that one's in the centre, but that one needs to come a little bit forward. So let's just push the chassis across a little bit. As I say, you have to loosen that one off slightly just to allow it to go over. There we are. And then once that is central, you can tighten it up. Now again, you can do the same the other side. Just put the cloth down. Let's just make sure that that looks central, and it does. Not. So let's loosen that one off and just push the transformer in a bit more and tighten that one. And then we can tighten that one as well. And then we can just fully tighten everything. And while I'm here, I can fit on the knob, getting the flat of the spring over the top, like so. It helps, George, if you remember to put the plastic dial protector on, the wood protector, whatever they call it. And that just goes in central, like that, so that the control doesn't rub on the wood. So that now is pretty much everything ready to plug in and test. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in the antenna. I'm going to plug in the speaker wire, put the thing onto mains, and I'll just plug it in via the hoppy. Turn the power on. And hopefully we'll get a signal.
One of those there. What about music? What about music? How do you listen to music now? How do you listen?
Well, I'm kind of, I don't, it's really silly of me. I really should stream it. I'm going to start doing that. I haven't done it yet.
And there's the radio working.
Stream it. I just listen to it.
Now, I should get more signals in here, but obviously because of the cameras, because of all the metal in this room, it's pretty much a Faraday cage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait till daylight, and then I shall take a camera outside and we shall do a test outside where you can see the final object fully working and everything happy. So we'll see you in the blink of an eye. Okay, so here is the Mayflower in its all wooden glory in the garden, and we are handheld, and it is on. So let's turn it up.
So they're the Brian from E17, yeah. I don't know if I've helped my cause there or not, to be honest. This is BBC.
Radio Oxford. We're here with you every day, bringing you the latest facts with live experts.
Now,
taking
Oxford
your
is actually
questions on
2
the
counties
coronavirus
across
outbreak.
from us.
My dilemma really is... My question is...
Together, we'll share your stories and hear the amazing ways people are supporting each other across Oxfordshire. We found weekend job.
Catch me out, try.
This crisis has finished and people get used to doing things slightly differently. Maybe there could be a bit of a resurgence.
And are
in the
you,
town, which is
are
what
you
we
the
need.
sort of shopper that is particularly interested in what is in seasonal availability? Because we get so used to things being flown backwards and forwards, and that's not going to happen any longer. Certainly not for a...
And now I'm past my own sell-by date.
Let's get some more growers.
Fruit and veg traders on the Market Square in Northampton, and we'll open that out to any fruit and veg traders that are still trading anywhere in Northamptonshire.
Yeah,
We thank you.
Good on 'em.
We thank you for what you...